Testing one, two, three. How is everybody doing this beautiful Thursday? This is April Showers of the April Showers Network. I'm glad to have you join me today or anybody that's listening to the replay. So, this is a public service announcement. I am telling my life story and other people that I know, and what I call is keeping it real. And I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not mad at anybody because I made a lot of bad decisions in my life and I stand accountable for them. But no, I'm not mad at anybody. I just don't fool with you. Once we're done, we're done. I don't do the back and forth with people. And so when I talk about certain things, I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just telling y'all the world the way I see it and just how I feel about some things. Okay. Again, happy Thursday. I'm thankful the good Lord woke me up today to be able to come on YouTube and talk my stuff. YouTube and therapy was a healer for me. And so I will never stop doing my YouTube shows. Hold on, I got to get to the comment. So anyway, let's talk about Shannon Sharpe, you big dummy. Hey, Susan, thanks for the thumbs up. Okay, so I'm not a sports person. I can't even talk sports with people. I know nothing about sports. I just knew Michael Jordan. My mother loved him. My mother would be yelling at the screen. She had everything bulls and whoo. Yeah. A lot of times I thought she was gonna have a heart attack, yelling and screaming for those Chicago Bulls. Rest in peace to my mother. Shannon Sharpe, you big dummy. Now, first I want to say this. Sharpe, 50-something years old, started talking to this girl when she was 19. So basically, he's old enough to be her granddaddy, Papa. I wonder if she ever said, "Come to me, Papa." Good morning, the Bud Files. So anyway, disgusting as some people might say it is, we do have people that have these type of relationships. Hey, Heather Hunter. And so, you know, that's a big age difference in my book. Now, we're getting ready to keep this 100% real. You know, I don't sugarcoat. Hey, Heather, the Bud Files and Susan, I'm so glad to have y'all here today. I'm going to talk about Shannon, Sharpe, the big dummy. First of all, a man that old, when they score a young woman, I hate to say it, but the woman looking at you as their sugar daddy. Okay. As their sugar daddy, you big dummy. And once sugar daddy can't provide, or even a regular man won't provide, that woman what they want, they get mad and turn on them. See, Shannon Sharpe, you was being pimped by a young girl, and you started off giving her big money, sleeping with her, and I guess you thought since you was giving her whatever you want to her. Well, it don't work like that. It don't work like that, Shannon. I am getting sick and tired of every day. We are seeing everybody being charged with assaulting women. Unfortunately, this is a very sad situation. No woman should be abused physically, mentally, or financially. Man is supposed to provide for a woman. And how you start the relationship out is how you have to keep that relationship. Shannon Sharpe, you was a trick. You was a trick. Now I'm getting ready to play this video where Monique was warning him. Hold on, y'all.
Just let it go. See shine bright.
Left
from the beginning. Oh my goodness, why am I buffering? We built this city on rock and roll. Hold on. We built this city with a Lord, how
Keep it quilted with Quilted Northern.
So as we're waiting on this video to load, I don't know what's going on with the internet.
Get 3,000 purchase cash on GMC EV models. We are professional grade.
dating. What advice? If somebody, if a group of women were in here and it's like, because this is Mo is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
But you try to say, what you trying to say? Mo,
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking.
I ain't backing down. You better get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby need. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I do.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get your old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Damn. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah,
because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back up. I'm talking right to you. Shit. So he thought I was going to be scared. Yes, I'm talking. And I know an old gal, she'll be good to you. Her name is Elladora. Now, when you know somebody named Elladora, she's old school. Mm-hmm. Now, Miss Elladora told me to tell you. She said, I think he like red velvet.
Oh, I do.
I say, Miss Elladora, if he do like that, she said, you let him know I got something for him.
Yeah, I like
and she don't have no teeth. Come on, pick your glass up and clack for me. Come on now. These young gals will bite you. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, I got to come on home.
Come on.
So there you have it. So everybody in the industry, that means they know Shannon Sharpe was with this young girl. Now, like I said, I don't know anything about sports, but they tell me he's like a Hall of Famer. He plays of him being, part of the alphabet people. There was an incident where he got into it with some people, I think at a Memphis Grizzly game, somebody was telling me. But he's had these type of allegations on him. And shout out to Ticket TV and For No Fame and the rest of the people that I listen to. People that's reading the paperwork. And let me tell you, when you listening to them read the paperwork, oh, you want to come up, East Dad? Let me drop the link. Let me drop the link. So you can come up. Oh, Lord, I lost my train. Okay, okay, so he's had some allegations, the Memphis Grizzlies. Hopefully each dad will come up and tell us about Shannon Sharpe. I don't know that much about him. All I know is when Cat Williams was on his show, I watched that show when Cat Williams said everything was being revealed. Oh, was listening to Ticket TV and For No Fame and other YouTubers that read the paperwork when you Shannon Sharpe allegedly told this woman, uh, sounds about right, like how some men talk. You know, some men think because they give you some money. He's dad.
Miss April Showers, how
Hello?
are you? April,
I'm doing
Miss April Showers, it's a pleasure to meet you on this platform for the first time.
in on.
Are you having trouble hearing me?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you came up.
I'm
I'm not
glad
having
you're here.
trouble hearing you. You
Okay.
sound great.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a pleasure that you invited me to be up here.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
so I'm gonna mute
basically,
my mic and
uh-huh.
give us a breakdown on Shannon Sharpe because I'm not a sports person. So I appreciate you coming in the show. I'm gonna mute my mic. You got the platform.
Appreciate you. Much love and respect. Basically, most of us who are sports fans know who Shannon Sharpe is. He was a player in the NFL and he was a tight end, just like his brother, Sterling Sharpe, who won Super Bowls. But we ain't gonna talk about that. We just gonna keep it on the topic. Basically, it's just I don't know exactly what happened. I really don't. I don't watch TV. I watch YouTube, but I haven't been watching it as much lately. So basically, I heard that he had allegations against him about a younger woman. You know, Shannon Sharpe is older than me, but he's just a few years older than me. But at the same time, I just know that when I start hearing allegations about people, that's just people, in my opinion, money grabbing. Now, there are exceptions. Basically, some people could have done what people are charging them with. But at the same time, it's very rare because when you look at a man who was poor as hell growing up in his life, with him and his brother, and they make it big and they get millions. Most guys don't need to rape people, or even if they need to rape people because they have a mental condition, it's something that's rarely going to happen. And I'm not saying that it couldn't happen in this particular situation. I'm just saying that it wouldn't happen as much as you might think. But I mean, I'm not defending anybody, and I don't really care. Honestly, I don't give a damn because I'm just worried about my life and what's important with me.
Right.
But people need
I am too, but I talk about these subjects and
people need stimulation for for
I
for
break them
certain
down.
things. People need the ability to be able to unload what they have in them that makes it, relevant or understandable. Maybe I don't have the words, and I'm not a coach or anything like that. I don't. Nobody, in my opinion, needs a coach. You don't need a life coach. This is your life. What the fuck do you need a life coach for? Get the fuck out of here. I unsubscribe from everybody that is a life coach.
Oh yeah, I had my experience with a so-called life coach. I'm like, they were the life coach because I called them to talk about something, and they shared it with somebody. I said, you ain't a life coach because you're never supposed to share the information that somebody talked to you about.
I agree, 100%. I
Now,
agree.
back to what you was saying.
Basically,
I'm going to
basically,
say this.
okay.
I'm sure there are plenty of regular women here that wish they could sue their husbands for all the abuse that they put up with. And some of these ladies that was in long-term relationships. And so if they can't, if the regular women can't get money, then I don't think the women that went with the superstars should get money.
Okay, I agree.
You know, because I know a lot of women that
I don't disagree with you at all,
man,
man. I don't agree. I don't disagree with you at all. But
mm-hmm,
like for me as a man, in my middle ages, like I don't want to say, I don't want to think that people think I'm careless, but because that's absolutely not the case. I'm very, very calculated, and I'm very, very on point with exactly what I'm trying to do or what I'm trying to accomplish in my life, even though I haven't, because we're just humans and we make mistakes. And
yeah,
I don't like when people say, well, I know I'm not perfect. Yes, you should already by default have it in your conscience that you're not perfect. Only your maker is perfect, right? So that
right.
should be by default in my mind. That's how I look at things.
Well, I think a lot of us, we really need to be mad at ourselves because we had that illusion that we were perfect people.
I agree 100%.
Um,
You
for
should
everything
always be mad at yourself.
that we was doing.
Being mad at
Yeah.
yourself.
And so,
No,
yeah,
please go ahead. Proceed, please, please.
go on. My mic to let you finish what
I
that
didn't mean
thought
to
you just
interrupt
said.
you. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
What I meant was, you know, being angry at yourself is taking accountability. And when I say taking accountability is understanding that what you did was wrong and making the necessary adjustment to correct that wrong. And that is the bottom line in my mind. Not speaking for anyone else, but there are so many people in this world that will not and refuse to do that. And that's 100% true. And I really think that the fact that the times are changing and the way things are looking, the weather is retarded. How I don't remember in my lifetime seeing a weather pattern the way it's been in the last 3 months. How's it going to be 70 degrees one day and then 40 degrees the next day?
And I
Things
agree
like
with you
things,
with that.
things like that annoy me.
Huh?
I said things like that annoy me, and it makes me think about scriptures. Like you're not going to be able to tell the fall from, the fall from the spring, or et cetera, et cetera. Like Erica Badu saying, "Will it be cold in your summer and hotter in your fall?" It's the same thing, on and on. The song. It's the same thing. Like the signs are really there, and it doesn't matter if anybody else recognizes it. If you recognize it from based on what you've learned in your life, it seems easy to figure out. And maybe I'm not gonna be here, or we're not gonna be here to witness all of it. But at the same time, maybe we will because it's still showing itself right now in life. Some people don't pay attention to it because they're doing their thing, and you're entitled to do that. Live your life the way you want to live it. But still, if I just think that my obligation to have an opportunity to share it doesn't come all the time. And even if I share it, obviously doesn't guarantee that anybody's going to listen. And at that point, it doesn't matter because what you're doing is what fuels your ability to keep moving forward. And that's what I play on. So, I really appreciate April Showers Network. Ma'am, it's a really pleasure to allow me to run my mouth. But at the same time, these are the things that are in my
Anybody's
mind.
welcome. I don't discriminate over here. Everybody is welcome to
Yeah,
this platform.
I don't know why
But
you would discriminate. I ain't never did a damn thing to you in my damn life. So why would you discriminate against me? I ain't never typed anything
no,
negative
I
to you.
don't. I'm just
What
saying.
reason do I have to type anything negative to you? I don't know you, but the fact
Mhm.
that you know me enough on this platform to allow me to run my mouth, it makes me respect you. And people need to just understand that. We're on a digital network. I never did anything to you, but people take things personal because they have underlying items in their own personal life and they try to display it online. But that's another story. I'm done talking. Much love and respect,
Yes,
and I appreciate it.
yes, yeah. And so, that's why I gotta wait. I gotta wait. Oh, no problem. That's why I had to take a look at myself too in these YouTube streets to think that none of these people really my friends. Uh, let- uh,
I never thought anybody was my
and
friend.
all of this, unless I know you know. Mhm.
Just because the
And
button says subscribed or friends doesn't mean we're friends because at the end of the day, the fact is we don't know each other. We just know
right,
based
don't
on what
know
we
each
saw on
other.
YouTube.
Hmm. Yeah. Now, so is this another attack on the black man? Because I'm sick of people saying that too. I'm waiting on your response.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't hear what you said.
I said, is this another attack on the black man? You know,
No,
as
it's definitely not a direct attack on a black man.
well, they
And
always come. Yeah,
in my opinion, it's an attack on people that don't have monetary value in this world. It's really an attack on people that they look down on. It's facts. That's true. But other than people of, you know, we're not going to say the J word Jews. And I'm going to go ahead. I said it. Okay, I said it. Okay. The bottom line is, you know, you don't have monetary power in this world. And if you don't have monetary power, you must be of the most high, in my opinion. But that's not something that should be taken as a way of life for me. I understand that because no, it's not about that. You know, just because you praise the Most High doesn't mean you don't have money. But at the same time, people, in my opinion, just go through things because it's not about money. But at the same time, we live in a world where it's all about money. So you take it as the way you think in your mind. But that's how I look at things in a simple mental cubicle. I'm not going to allow it to dominate my thought other than for myself. And it's not an act about being selfish, it's about being self aware. Because for many years, I was self aware. Now I feel like I'm there. So, but everybody has their own path to travel, and I respect that and I understand it. So I try to reserve my opinion to myself because I did in the past, and you know, the result. Opinions are always going to be there and they're welcome. But at the same time, when people don't understand where you're trying to come from, the negative dominates the positive, then you have to retract.
Yeah, East Dad, we all have a past. I have a past too. We all
Everybody,
pass. But
everybody.
my thing with seeing all of this is I'm still seeing men being abusive.
Yeah, men are abusive
Mm-hmm.
because they seek or they found or still have the type of woman who is subservient enough to understand that what they were missing in their life, not necessarily missing in their life, but some people just are programmed for that type of abuse. And me being somebody who's been through some things, seeing some things, you know, I understand that. Some people are subservient to types of abuse from people. Even if they don't have to take it, they still are like that. So that's life. That's life. They gotta find their way out, baby.
What's your thoughts on the age difference?
About age difference about what?
Shannon in his 50s and she was 19. He first started dating her. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are simple. Like, what has a 19-year-old been through to be able to even entertain a conversation with that person unless he was behind a counter or some other capacity of service, in my opinion. Because,
Yeah, I
I,
would say he was her trick.
oh, he's a trick.
No, I call him her trick. Continue on.
Well, yeah, he's weak because,
Yeah.
he can only entertain a 19-year-old mentally to understand himself. Maybe his mentality stopped at 10 or something like that. So, yeah, in my mind, I feel like a person that will fall into that type of thing would mentally be in that space. Even though they're physically 50 years old, they're mentally 14. I met a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
I met a lot of people
Yeah.
like that. But,
Mental illness is real. Yeah. Mental
Miss April
illness is
Shower,
real.
I'm 50 years old.
Yes.
I didn't want to say my age, but I'm 50 years old. I was born in December of 1974, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I've been around to experience exactly what I know because I never try to talk outside of my neck. I don't gossip. because I'm a man in that aspect that doesn't really need to do that. Like I don't need that. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I know what I know. I wouldn't say it if I didn't know. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna shut my mouth every time.
Right.
And that's the bottom line. I mean, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna
Okay.
leave it at that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. uh, I'm getting sick every time I look up allegations, and it always ain't about the race. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, a rapper, a preacher. Y'all, people need to get
Rapper? What does a rapper have to do with anything?
right.
Is that
I'm
all
just saying.
black people are? All black people are rappers?
And
No.
so, you know,
I understand you're not saying that, Miss April Showers. I
yeah.
understand you're not saying that. I'm just saying, like, do you understand what I mean in that aspect? Like, are all
Mm-hmm.
black men only rappers? Like, well, we can't be, we were engineers and everything in the past. What happened? That's
Uh-uh.
what we need to question. Why our babies are lower than
Well,
everybody
that's
in the
what I was
world?
going to say. Let me finish. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And so we see all of these top men going down. So I need for my younger brothers, my kings, I need y'all to be out, go get you some therapy. We don't need y'all to be abusing women. Go get some therapy because all of this stuff, I think it's learned behavior. Oh, hey, check you out. Yeah, it's learned behavior. And so, like I say, these women, they asking for millions and millions of dollars. Women that was married to husbands for 30, 40 years finally left them. And they put up with beatings every day and stuff. Outside kids, everything. And they didn't get nothing. So it would be nice if the regular women could get some money. But
In my opinion, those women that got the ass beat, they regular women too, just like the other women that they
that's
get
what
their
I
ass
was
beat.
the
They just
regular
dealing
women.
with a fucking maniac, and they can't get past them because
Yeah.
whatever they
But
do
what
with
I'm
them
saying is
for charm
they
and
were able
emotional,
to sue. Yeah. But the
that,
regular woman wasn't able to sue. That's the point I'm making. They walked away with nothing. And so just because you get with a man that got all of this money, so what she want, 10 million?
it's
10
about money, man. That's all it is. That's
yeah.
all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Women put up with people behavior because of the money, and some people just won't let their integrity outweigh the money. That's all it is.
And so, Monique tried to tell him. So everybody know he's been seeing this young woman. And I don't know what happened, why all of this is coming out. They say he was supposed to get a deal with ESPN, but I need to know why people still freaking video recording they sell. Like what? Like y'all recording sexual acts and stuff? Boy, ain't nobody getting ready to have no evidence against me. I find that like Y'all really sit up here and let people record y'all, or you set up to record you having sexual intercourse. I don't know what words we can say on YouTube. Making love or whatever. Yeah. But I can't believe people are still recording themselves, knowing that this stuff could be used against them.
Ma'am, in my opinion, that's just the age they grew up in. And some people are smart enough to not do that, and some people aren't. We didn't have access to that when we were growing up. I remember sitting by the phone in my living room, on the chair, on a sofa, waiting by the phone for a girl to call. So we don't live in that time anymore. It's
Right.
far gone. So you have to understand that people really are that risky and reckless in life. And that's plainly because the enemy is busy. His job is to manipulate. His time is running out. People need to understand that. And that's how I look at it.
Oh yeah, that's what I say. God done got tired. That's why he's killing everything to you. He's letting you know everybody ain't perfect. All of y'all are sinners. All of y'all got something. And we gotta fix this from the top to the bottom. You know, we want that snake head cut off. But at the same time, he's there. Unfortunately, we love people so much we keep giving them passes. So help the situation neither.
In my opinion, people know what they're doing, but they still are willing to do it. So because we have free will, we
Mm-hmm.
exercise that every day. I mean, me being a man who grew up in a religion that
Mm-hmm.
praises Saturday as the Sabbath day, and I still practice that today,
Mm-hmm.
even though I abandoned religion in 2008. I don't believe in any religion. Religion, in my mind, is control. So when I realized that I was raised as a Seventh day Adventist and Saturday was my Sabbath day, I still hold that
Mm-hmm.
accountable for myself, even though I abandoned religion and I still praise the Most High 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need religion for any type of control. I don't need to say that I'm Baptist or Seventh Day Adventist or Christian or any of that. I need to understand that I praise one, just like we all do. And the fact that I
Mm-hmm.
hang on that, I really try to just move forward without worrying about people saying, "Oh well, you're not this, so you didn't you couldn't have felt this way or thought that way."
Oh wow. Yeah. I know I really don't even discuss religion. I go to church. For me, church is my hospital. I need it every week because let I
Hey, in my mind, I don't look at it that way because a hospital is a negative place in my mind. So for you to say it's my hospital, nah, shit.
I
I don't
need to
want your meals. I don't want
hospital.
your meals. I don't want none of that shit no more. I want to be out here and I want to enjoy my life.
Yeah.
That's all
Well,
I'm saying.
I go
But
to get well every week. But yeah, for
if
me,
I would say that's my Garden of Eden. And I've never been to the Garden of Eden, obviously, none of us have. But at the same time, I would say being out here being free, being able to wake up daily is my Garden of Eden. So I just have to figure out how to get it right on that day and hope that tomorrow allows me another opportunity to make it. Period.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know, people really get the fact that the next day is not guaranteed to you fucked up, excuse my language. They really get it messed up though. The next minute is not guaranteed to you, but
I'm
people take
telling
it for granted. And I do all the time, but just like everyone, I do it every time. I'm not trying to say that I don't do it. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it all the time, taking it for granted. But being conscious of it makes me understand that I have to work on that.
you. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You know, everybody has their own work to do. Everybody's path is their personal path. You just got to figure it out. And even if you don't figure it out, just try to do good along the way and hope that your good outweighs the negative because that's the only way in my mind.
Let me, yeah, because nobody told me this road would be easy. You know, they sure made
Yeah,
it
it's
look
about
good.
accountability. People act like they never did nothing wrong or never did anything. And that's what it's all about holding yourself accountable for your actions,
Yeah.
negative and positive.
Hmm.
Being able to reflect on whatever decision you made, whether positive or negative. That's where my mindset is, and I'm moving forward with that in my life.
Talk to him. I said,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, I went through a lot of trials in my life, just like everybody does. That's part of life. But at the same time, you know, I can put it in perspective. I had enough time, enough isolation mentally to absorb it. And people might not be there because they might not have the time in their busy lives to absorb what I absorb. So I might be
Well,
out of pocket
unfortunately,
for a
East
lot of
there.
people.
No, you're not out of pocket. Unfortunately, some people, uh, they will not hold themselves accountable for anything that they've done wrong because we used to keep everything under the rug method. What goes on
Yes,
in this
ma'am. I've
house
been
stays,
there. I've been there.
and you know everybody sitting at the table, but everybody's hurting, and you can't talk about it. And so this is on and on, and nothing gets addressed even in the household. Nothing nothing gets addressed.
You're speaking facts.
You know.
There, most times there will never be any closure, and you have to develop your own form of closure in order to move forward. Because in my mind, that's the only way. You always hear me say "in my mind" because I'm not speaking for anyone, and I've noticed that when you're online, people get offended for your comments. So I always try to say "in my mind"
I
to
ain't
make them
trying to
understand
sugarcoat nothing up here.
what I'm thinking, not as opposed to what they're thinking. Because yeah, everybody's different. So yeah, you have your own path to travel. So I like to make it clear that I'm not speaking about you, but my intention is to make you think. You hear my opinion of it, and you develop your own.
Right. Well,
But I'm yes, Miss April Showers. I'm gonna go ahead and get
I'm
down.
gonna try.
It's 2 o'clock here in New Jersey, and I need to get ready for
Oh,
my
okay. I'm in
3:30 shift.
Joliet, Illinois.
Yes, I really have to work my shift. It's
Yeah,
Thursday.
everybody,
Thank
we
you,
just
Most High. Yes,
oh,
much
no
love and
problem.
respect. I'm gonna drop down into the chat and I'll hang around for a minute.
Okay.
and then I'll pop out. Much love and respect, Miss April Showers. It's a pleasure to allow me to be up here. All right,
Yeah.
later.
Okay. See, audience, that's what we just had. A man that says accountability. We can't fix these problems with these men being abusers. And don't get me wrong, women are abusers too, but you know, the men of all races, color, creed, political, or religious backgrounds are some are abusers. They abuse women mentally, physically, and financially. And it don't even have to be a doctor. Men are just some of them. They are, you know, they just abusive. I know some men, they fight their woman or wife, but they ready to go bust a man's head upside the head if they put their hands on their sister. Go figure. Like I said, our people, we got a lot of mental illness going. Our whole way of thinking, and we love everything that's good, and we keep giving people like Shannon Sharpe as a member of our family to a friend. We keep giving these people passes, you know, and so that also allows them to continue with their abusive behavior. And some men, unfortunately, this is all they know. This is all they know. And so, even from rich to poor. But the older you get, with Shannon Sharpe, you big dummy. But like I say, you grown. But you did it listening to them allegedly. Listening to them read the paperwork. That's how you men talk. And anytime when you're on a job, it don't matter if you the garbage man to the CEO. Just do the right thing. And then go get the treatment and the help you need. If abuse is all you know, so we can stop this. Because even though we talking about Shannon Sharpe, he's a famous person. But y'all know I break it down to everyday people. Domestic violence, abuse, and all of that stuff, it needs to be addressed more. You know, people need to talk about it. People, people need to tell their family members. You're an abuser. You're an abusive person. Go get the help that you need. And then, you know, some women, they stay with the abusers. You know, And no matter what you do to try to get them away from the abuser, you got to remember you can't control other people. Those women are not going to leave until they want to leave. And from the garbage man to the CEO, these ladies, they're not getting millions of dollars for putting up with the abuse that they put up with. And so, Shannon Sharpe, I'll call him a big dummy because you know when you're making money, you know the devil is going to come after you. And so you should know better. You should have known better to think you was going to be able to walk this earth and get with a girl that could be your granddaughter, because I don't even know what y'all could talk about. You was a trick. And you thought you was doing something because you had a younger woman, a beautiful, she's a nice looking lady. And you know, you thought you was untouchable, huh? You're not untouchable. Ain't nobody untouchable when it comes to somebody getting some coins. And then I heard some of the leak video. You know, people, this is a public service announcement. Why y'all videotaping yourself? You don't know what that person will do with the videotape. I mean, where they do this at? I guess a lot of people doing it. Ain't no evidence out there on me. If there is, I did not know. I did not know. So, things that you should learn from this Shannon Sharpe is while you think you got it going on and you done got you a young girl, you old men need to realize that y'all ain't nothing but a trick. A trick. Because that big of an age difference. It's like, what did you talk about? What types of conversations? What about the music? And to those that's listening, that's regular guys, leave them underage girls alone. Leave them alone. Find somebody in your own age group. But I know a lot of y'all are not mentally fit to deal with a real strong, good woman. Some of you men, you want to be with the woman so you can jump on her, you know, do everything to that woman. And 9 times out of 10, most abusers, when they say that the woman is cheating and all of this, don't let no man be telling you that. And you know you're not cheating. That's the mind games that they play. So we see from Shannon Sharpe to Holly, from the NFL, he's making big money. He had the highest rated podcast, but people say that Shannon Sharpe has a background of, he has these allegations on him before, and Shannon Sharpe, probably needs some help. And so, another thing I want to comment on before I get out of here is do the right thing. Do the right thing. Because I'm pretty sure Shannon Sharpe thought that he had made it. He was going to get this big contract. They were telling me. And so, again, the devil will send them slithering snakes to knock you off course where you could possibly lose everything. So if you got any type of addiction from sexual and all of this stuff, go get some therapy. Go get some therapy. But it does look like a money grab. And of course, like I said, listening to the audio and all of this, he seems guilty from the paperwork. But listening to them read the paperwork and just listening to the audio that was released. Hey, oh, there go my guy. Yeah, it is just sleazy. Like, who videotapes themselves? I wasn't the type of woman that watched porn and stuff. Yeah. So, I don't want to hear about these people's sexual relationships neither. I don't want to hear them, I don't want to hear that stuff. But unfortunately, we have to hear it because, people be in denial. And this is what I'm going to say to Shannon. You need to own up to what you did. People would forgive you guys much quicker, instead of always trying to blame everything on they attacking the black man. Well, you've had several allegations from the past. And then you have a temper, and to hear all of the sportscasters talk, you was a difficult person to get along with. And so, to Shannon Sharpe, this is the time for you to look in the mirror, come clean about yourself and other things in your life, And another thing I want to say too is y'all think y'all can actually keep running around on this earth mistreating people and nothing ain't gonna happen to you. And stuff ain't waiting generations. Karma coming back. Hell, sometimes in the same day. And if nobody wants to stand by Shannon Sharpe, they don't have to. That's on them. But if you are somebody's friend, if you are a real, true, sincere friend, you're going to stick with your friends. And so they were releasing videos and text messages and stuff. And I said, he did that. He did it. You know, a 50-something-year-old man with a 20-something-year-old girl, you know that man is a trick and a cash cow. So for him being caught up in this situation, I blame him. I blame him. You decided to get with this younger girl, and it was all about the Benjamins, baby. All about the Benjamins. And like I say, the more you move up in the world, the more devils are going to be coming for you. There was a lot of people that said that they tried to talk to to Shannon Sharpe, like Monique did in that video, and telling him he don't need a young girl because they know the playbook. But you know, y'all want to have a young, fine, skinny chick woman on your arms. You don't want to be with just an average woman. You know, y'all, these men nowadays, they want the women that's can have BBLs and tummy tucks. Shit. Like, what the heck? But yeah, so I blame him because Monique tried to warn him, told him he don't need no young girl. Yeah. Sometimes you might have to make boundaries with some friends, but a phone call, a text message, sometimes might can be something for some circumstances. Yeah. Yeah, you have to set boundaries. And you know, me and my friends that I got, we ain't never had to worry about trusting each other. Uh, we've looked out with each other through the kids. Uh, you know, everything, life. I was never in competition with any of my friends. And I had some great friends. I don't know where I would be without them. I'm thankful for the angels that God sent to me. I'm thankful. So, for all of you men out there, stop abusing women. You not their daddy. Oh, unless you're in bed. Stop being abusive. And I'm just glad that they're coming for everybody. They're coming for everybody now. And you can run, you can hide. The other night, I was in the dopest nerds platform. Hold on, I gotta look up her real name. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Natania Rubin. Her channel is the dopest nerd. And what was it, Saturday or Sunday night? I was listening to her replay. But this is the woman who was shot by P. Diddy, allegedly. I have to say allegedly. Where Jennifer Lopez carried the gun into the club, but Shine ended up going to prison. You know, P. Diddy, you know, nothing happened to him. But when I was in her show Saturday night, she was so emotional because they are going to allow the 1999 shooting in New York where Natalia Rubin was shot allegedly by P. Diddy. And she was so happy. I can only imagine how this lady must have felt. She decided to go out to a club with some friends, end up getting shot in the face, and she survived. And then to have your friends turn on you. Because, of course, P. Diddy allegedly, you know, paid witnesses off in everything in her trial, even paid her friends off. So if you go to the dopest nerd, I'm going to tell you, you'll be in tears. Because let me tell you something. A lot of us done had some traumatic things happen to us. Whether it was being shot to being, being shot, all kind of addictions and everything. But anyway, Natalia Rubin was crying tears of joy because she has had to wait 25 years to finally be able to say, you shot me, you know you did it. I mean, she looked right in his face. And so she was crying tears of joy. To the victims of abusers, I send my respect and love to you, because putting up with that type of behavior, it's a lot. But anyway, y'all, I just took my medicine about 20 minutes ago. So I'm going to have to end this show because I'm getting sleepy. But Shannon Sharpe is a big dummy. Shannon Sharpe need to go into therapy. And so the message to my young black brothers, all men of color and even those that are Caucasian, I need you men to stop putting hands on a woman. I need you men to stop thinking you can jump on a woman. Like, that's ludicrous behavior. It's not cool. And don't nobody have to dance to your music. And unfortunately, some women, they choose that path because this is all they have seen is, older man, young woman. So if you are out there in the audience and catch this on replay, thanks for listening, because I done really got sleepy. I can hold my eyelids open. I just took my medicine. And I will talk to you guys later. I'll probably come back on tonight. But remember, also, what goes around comes around. This is April Showers. I thank y'all for joining me. Peace.